Hello, waking world. It's Johnny. Today marks the 22nd day of my A Thing a Day project, and I just figured I'd take a moment and talk about what's been happening so far. Um, Steep learning curve, that's for sure. I was kind of running in blind. I'm starting to get an idea of what I want the channel to look like and what I want like further projects to be. So that's a cool part. But what I wanted to talk about right now is something that I learned, something that I benefited from, and that's the rigid structure of the schedule that I have. Um, it might sound weird because we always kind of assume that the creative process is like a chaotic explosion, right? You get an idea, and then an artist runs into a room, they lock the door, and there's equipment, and then they just make something happen, and that's totally not what happens. Um, the what actually I benefited from was having, I guess you would call it a path, but like it's, oh man, how to describe it? It's like having a schedule where every day I have to post a thing forced me to not only think ahead, that part's kind of obvious, but also kind of like figure out the placement of where each video goes. Because I don't always film the videos in order, you know. Sometimes a video where like I'm playing guitar or whatever will be filmed before one of the videos that like comes out before it. That's just all based on what's available to me and what's convenient. And that kind of rigid structure has really helped me focus on a more goal-oriented system, and it's allowed me to actually be more productive. It's understandable that people might think that like the rigid structure and scheduling would be like somehow restrictive, but it's actually not. Think of it more like parameters that you follow, and it brings you towards the goal. It just keeps you on the direction towards the thing that you're trying to do. And that has been very helpful to me to keep going, because prior to A Thing a Day, I was kind of like one of those guys that like I would get an idea and I would be excited about it and I would run toward it and try and make it happen. And then like more often than not, I would run into a roadblock and I wouldn't know how to fix it, or I would get caught up in the moment and it wouldn't, when I was finished, it wasn't exactly what I wanted. And that's something I want to avoid going forward. I don't want to feel rushed anymore. And I also don't want to feel, like the stuff I'm putting out is good enough. You know what I mean? Like, I want it to be as good as I know I can make it. And having this scheduling and scheduling things far in advance, allowing me the time to do multiple takes, sometimes multiple takes over the course of a couple of days, has allowed me to do that. And so it was a cool discovery, and I think it'll help everybody to, set yourself a schedule. And you can apply that to anything. You can apply it to your job or to your home life, or your whether it's, domestic or creative or whatever. I think everybody would benefit from that. Just sit down and schedule it out, because you might also be overwhelmed by the things that you think you have to do. But when you schedule them out, you realize it's not as much as you thought. So, anyway, those are my thoughts for today. I'm actually off to go do more work. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you have a productive rest of the day.